Hello, my name is Lekrowadisakis, and today we're going to be talking about Mount Washington, a neighborhood located in the Baltimore city lines that also borders Baltimore County. Now, Mount Washington is this neighborhood that is kind of a bridge between suburban and urban living. It's this cool space where kind of both aesthetics meet and you kind of just get to enjoy it. So, let's talk a little bit more about the history behind Mount Washington. Mount Washington was originally founded in 1854 and was originally intended to be a summer retreat, like a place where people can go in the summer for Baltimore city dwellers. Due to just its immense green space and its immense just things to do there. Also, another thing we're going to see today is the architecture around Mount Washington. A lot of the homes and a lot of the buildings that are in Mount Washington usually use a 19th century architecture style, which ended up earning Mount Washington its name as a city historic district. Now, let's dive into a little bit of history that comes with knowing about Mount Washington. Now, Mount Washington in the mid 19th century was actually never supposed to be a year-round neighborhood. It wasn't supposed to be something that was upheld living 24/7. It was actually only supposed to be a place where people of wealth in Baltimore could retreat to in the summer to get away from that humid industrial kind of vibes that was going on in Baltimore at the time due to it kind of starting to form as this big powerhouse with the harbor. So, in 1854 came the Northern Central Railway, which turned this area into a prestigious destination. You can still see this history in the architecture of the Dixon Hill Historic District. In Dixon Hill, you'll find the Mount Washington Octagon, an architectural oddity from 1855 that served as a female seminary. This history of exclusivity and professional class living set the stage for the neighborhood's modern identity as the city expanded. These summer homes were winternized, and Mount Washington evolved into one of the most stable, year-round, historic places in the Mid-Atlantic. Now, let's talk economics. Economically speaking, Mount Washington is an area of high density and wealth. While the median household income is $71,000, the average income reaches around $129,000, as nearly half of the households here earn over $150,000 annually. With a population that is 65% white, 15% black, and 12% Hispanic, it is a professional hub with a median home value of over $381,000. It remains one of the most stable enclaves in the city for high ownership, meaning that majority of the people who live in Mount Washington own as opposed to renting. Now, let's talk about mobility and safety that Mount Washington offers its many residents. When evaluating mobility, Mount Washington earns a walk score of 50, meaning it's fairly walkable, though it's concentrated mostly around the village center, meaning that most of the time you'll probably have to drive or use the transit to get around. Its transit score is 40, which reflects a reliance on the light rail and personal vehicles, as there is hilly terrain that can make east-west travel very difficult. However, safety is a major asset that Mount Washington offers. The Northern District has seen a significant improvement, mirroring a citywide 24% drop in homicides in early 2025. Mount Washington specifically maintains a 90 out of 100 quiet rating, making it one of the calmest residential areas in Baltimore. So, what this means is that in Mount Washington, there isn't a lot of sounds, there isn't a lot of busy, there isn't a lot of riff-raff. It's very chill, very calm area, a place where you can kind of study outside without worrying about anything too much. Now, while residents must still be cautious of property crimes like vehicle theft, the neighborhood remains a top-tier target area for safety-conscious families. So, in conclusion, Mount Washington offers a high-resource environment that balances urban access with suburban safety. For a case like the Alpha family, this neighborhood provides the human resources they need most, specifically the Mount Washington Pediatric Hospital, for her son's health and the light rail to offset an unreliable vehicle. While the high average income creates economic competition, the neighborhood stability and specialized services make it a strategically sound choice for a family in tradition. Thank you for listening about Mount Washington and allowing me to talk to you more about Mount Washington. Have a good one.